Hello and welcome. We are on location today in Laughlin, Nevada. Alright, well, we're not in Nevada. Over there is Nevada. This is Arizona. But, you know, the other side of that water, we're Laughlin, Nevada. That's where we're headed. There is a bunch of hotels up there. Neat stuff to look at, I think. So, family and I are taking out the canoe boat. Engine of choice today is a, I forgot the year. It's either a 59 or a 60. I think it's a 60. Anyway, we're trying out the 5.5 horsepower I fixed up last year. I want to see how well this does. Didn't start it before I left. Should have, but I didn't feel like it. So this is going to be an adventure. Kids playing where they shouldn't in the launch ramp. It's off to a good start.
Oh, boy.
So, what happened? Well, when I went through this motor, I went through everything except for this rewind starter. Because it worked great. Now I regret that. Here's the problem with yesterday. I didn't have any tools whatsoever. So, when my starter here failed, what I should have done, or been able to do, is get a flathead, or better yet, a 1/4-inch drive ratchet, and take off the starter housing. That would allow me to access the flywheel, which then I could wrap a rope around and pull start and go about my merry weekend. However, absolutely no tools to do that. So, problems right off the bat. Now, in the later years, the 5.5s became a 6 horsepower. Its starter is mounted down here, and it has an open exposed flywheel. Perfectly capable of doing that. This thing, not at all. So what I needed to do, well, first, what I think happened, the grease inside of here, on the old spring, basically turned to glue. So when I pulled this further out than I ever had, I think the spring was so compressed, all that tacky grease then just held the spring and didn't allow me to pull back in the starter rope to retract naturally. Now, I needed to wind it back in by hand. You can't really get to the inner starter wheel except for a little spot right here and back here. So what I did was just with my fingertips, because that's all you could reach, is slowly turn the starter wheel back in, pulling in the rope, 1/8 to 1/4 inch at a time until it was all the way back in. The next pull, the engine started up. When that happened, good. Just wasn't going to shut the engine back off again. Now let's say in a hypothetical world, out in the middle of nowhere, sitting parked on a beach for relaxing or playing or whatever, and then this dies and I'm stranded. What I'd probably do is get a rock and break the 3 legs off this housing to get this off to get to the flywheel. If I didn't have an extra rope, which I didn't, what I would have done then was use this rope, found myself a serrated rock, and just sawed the rope until I had a rope. That's how I would have saved the day if I was truly stranded. But let's say I did shut the engine off during this trip, I could have just floated back downriver. We're in a canoe, it's not hard to paddle. Not that I had paddles, but we could have got back without any struggles. No reason to break the housing. If I had to, I absolutely would. So next I'm going to take this apart, clean this out, so that'll be my next video for this motor, but yeah. Anyway, carrying on. Some nice clear water. And we obviously had a little bit of a hiccup with the starter rope. Fixing that when we get home, but now we're doing pretty good. I don't know where we're going exactly, but we're on our way. Little engine. Yeah, driving fine, it seems. Put that starter holds together though. Engine's still running. Not going to shut it off because I'm not dumb. And we got waves. Perfect. Throttle down into him. Engine runs fine. Now throttle on out. Thanks to the OEM water pump, we are still pumping water. Not shutting the thing off because, yeah. And here's where we stopped. It says please, it doesn't say keep clear. Should we go race that boat? What is it, product placement? A friend of mine and myself went to Hawaii years and years and years ago. And we didn't have much money when we got there. We learned quickly the price of food. So we were basically just scrounging for whatever we could that was cheap. Pretty much restaurants, they were just out of the question. We found out grocery stores in the early morning, they'd have like little breakfasts that they would make for their worker townsfolk. So we'd go there and that was basically our main course, was breakfast in the morning. Anyway, our last day there, we decided to splurge and go to an actual restaurant. We went to the Bubblegum Shrimp Company. Had some of the best food I've ever had. It was so tasty. Oh, that could have been a week of, you know, no food. I don't know. Never forget that, how tasty that stuff was. I've been back since, it's not as good. But anyway, we're still chooching along. There is the somewhat abandoned Colorado Belle. Oh, I kind of want that boat right there. Doesn't look like decoration. Looks like, well, it is, but looks like a real boat. I don't know. Alright, this lady was completely oblivious to anything and everybody around her. We went to the other side of the water to avoid her. And there she goes again. Right next to those docks. Anyway, if she comes by again, I'll record it. Show you how close she's trying to get to us. There is our goal. Little tiny island with goats on it. Locals like to call it Island of Goats. So we're gonna go there and turn around. Alright, now we're putting along. The kids want to find a fish. What's that sign say? Someone come up here? This guy's showing off his twin engines. That's a wave. I know, but it's a little cold. Alright, we are on hour 2 of the engine running. Going great. Well, we're heading downriver now. Hugging on the Arizona side. Engine is still going strong. Haven't turned it off yet. We're making a lot better speed because we're going with the current. The boat can't really go that fast because the outriggers just don't want to let you without splashing like crazy. So, yeah. The motor is faster than the boat is. Yeah, things are going fine. Coming on a little island that we didn't notice on the way in. We're gonna see if we can fit over here. Yes, yes. So we're just idling here, like barely just chooching along. But we're making such good speed because of the river current. So pretty, other than, you know, front of the boat noises, it's pretty relaxing because the engine's not making too much noise. We're just kind of relaxing, but going pretty quick. That's a long jump off that dock ramp, huh? I guess if you're going fast enough, it'd be fine. That's funny. Don't gotta worry about that. So welcome to the no wake zone. Apparently nobody cares. We're in the rough water here. So I needed to throttle a little more to keep the nose up, a pinch, keep them a little more drier. Alright, now we can go back to chilling. So how was Wild Rivers? You want? Alright. Well, 3 hours of run time. Engine made us upriver, downriver, and back, and everything. No troubles at all. Except for I never turned it off because the starter broke. Other than that, no troubles at all. Join me next time for how to rebuild a starter on a 5.5 horsepower outboard. See you later.